I think the big problem that many, especially junior monastics, face as one matures sort of in the monastic life is that when one reaches a certain age, one starts to face maybe what would be called a midlife crisis, particularly when one reaches the 40s or 50s. One starts to think that this monastic life is tedious, boring, difficult, irrelevant in today's society. And then the sort of one glances out at people enjoying the household life, and one sees that there are also like serious lay practitioners who are able to lead lives dedicated to the Dhamma, but also to enter into romantic relationships and to take on careers in the world. And that starts to seem attractive. What I've witnessed myself over many years as a monk, seeing many, many monastics leave the monastic life either because they want to enter into a meaningful and fulfilling romantic relationship, which is not necessarily just driven by sexual desire. In fact, when the person gets to be in their 40s or approaching 50, the sexual urge might be they have some control over that, but it's the need for a more fulfilling emotional relationship. And also the other urge, as I said, is to find some way to make a meaningful contribution in the world by taking up some kind of career. Maybe it can be as a psychotherapist, as a social worker, or maybe going as a school teacher. And so that will pull the person out from the monastic life. And so what I found very useful for myself is always to look at this monastic life using the long-term perspective, looking at it from, I would call from the samsaric perspective, not just looking at it in terms of one single life, but in the multi-life perspective, and seeing that it's extremely, at least said, it's in this quote in the suttas, it said, extremely rare to encounter the Buddha's teaching, extremely rare to have the opportunity to hear the Saddhamma, the good Dhamma, and then it's extremely rare to pabbaja, the going forth into homeless life is very rare. And so this was really like a very, very precious opportunity, which is rarely encountered, in that one should make full use of this opportunity in order to progress along the path to liberation. A big problem that I found that certain monastics face, or many monastics, is that they think that the only way to live a meaningful monastic life is to fully plunge into meditation. And maybe there are a few people who have strong karmic backgrounds, accumulated paramis, who can succeed in living an entirely meditative life. But large numbers, probably the great majority, don't have that underlying background of supporting conditions. And so if you think that the only way to lead a meaningful monastic life is through intensive meditation, maybe in the initial stages when we'll start to undergo remarkable experiences, but then one reaches a certain plateau where things dry up and further progress becomes difficult, then one becomes disappointed, discouraged, despondent, and becomes tempted to disrobe. And so what I would say, in addition to one's meditative practice, one also has to find meaningful ways, fulfilling ways to live within a monastic community. One has to be able to connect with other monastics in a community to establish kalyana mita to good friendship, and to find some activities through which one can develop personal talents and make a contribution to the monastic community. Some might become scholars, some administrators, some are skilled in even construction work, or skilled in giving talks, writing, and so forth. So one finds a particular talent that one has and tries to find fulfillment in the monastic life by exploring that talent.